Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals. Alright, so today I'm going to be drinking a hot toddy for the first time. A hot toddy is a warm mixed drink that is supposed to be really good on cold days and is supposed to be really good if you have a cold. Now, while I don't have a cold currently, thankfully, it is nonetheless quite cold out here today. It is currently around about 28 degrees Fahrenheit out here right now. And yeah, it's a bit chilly. But nonetheless, I'm wanting some alcohol and I'm wanting to drink outside. And so as such, I figured, you know, it's the perfect time to go ahead and try a hot toddy for the first time. Apparently, they're really good on cold days. I've been recommended them a lot. I've heard a lot of good things. So I should probably go ahead and just find out how they actually are for myself for the first time today. And so as such, well, that's exactly what I'm doing during this video. But what do you normally make a hot toddy with? Well, generally speaking, you take a base of warm water and you mix in whiskey, specifically, generally speaking, bourbon, along with a little bit of honey and a little bit of lemon juice as well. And then you can garnish as you want to. I've got some cinnamon sticks with me today to be precise. And yeah, that's generally speaking what the ingredients of a hot toddy are. I suppose I should probably cover what specific ingredients I actually have for my hot toddy today, though. I have in specific some Evan Williams Bottled & Bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey with me today as my whiskey for this video. As far as my water goes, I just have some basic tap water in my Nalgene water bottle right here. I also have just some, what is this? Gunter's Pure Honey Clover. I have just some normal honey with me today. Nothing too crazy going on. And then I also have some Wegmans brand lemon juice with me today as well. And it's all going to be going into my Crown Royal glass right here with my little measuring cup I have right here helping me measure everything out. And as said, I do also have some cinnamon sticks as garnish. And yeah, that's all of the material I have with me today ingredient-wise. But I'm sure some of y'all are probably wondering, where's my hot water going to come from? I am not next to, I'm not next to a hot water maker right now. I don't have a kettle out here or anything like that kind of thing. But I do have the next best thing. I have, to be precise, my camping stove out here with me today, and I'm going to be using this pan right here to, well, warm up some water. And I'm going to be warming up water with that, pouring it into my glass, and then making up my hot toddy that way. That's my plan, at least. This is a butane stove, so I've also got some butane with me today. I should have probably brought a stirrer out, but I did not do that. It is what it is. I don't need a stirrer anyway. But without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and move my camera back just a little bit. And I am going to go ahead and get my camping stove all set up. I'm going to try to make sure y'all can actually see everything that's going on. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this box all opened up. We've got my camping stove right here. I'm going to put my box down on the ground because I don't need it now. And let's go and get this down on my table. I'm going to move this back a little bit further, move this down a little bit more just so y'all can really see what's going on. And well, let's go ahead. I've got some ice on the bottom of my metal thing right here. So try to get that off. And I'm going to go and open up this door, take the cap off of my Giga Power Gas CB butane canister from Snow Peak. Got this for like $3 at REI, I think. It's a bit expensive for butane, but I needed a butane canister at the time, so I bought it. And let's see if I can remember how to do this. So yeah, it's on unlock, and I think I just stick it in. It's been like a year since I've last used one of these, in all honesty, so I'm just trying to remember how exactly I do this. Is it like, I know it's just supposed to like pop in. This should just fit, right? I do have other gas canisters just in case this one doesn't fit. But this one, like, should totally fit, I'm pretty sure. Oh. What? There we go. And then... Oh. Is this not like the right... I thought this would totally fit. Maybe I made a mistake with this specific canister. I thought it would, oh, it's because I'm not lining it up. As said, it's been a little while since the last time I used one of these. There we go, that should be better now. Right? Oh yeah, that was so much easier. Okay, and then now, there we go. I can go and lock it in. Let's go and do a test light, make sure this is all working. Valve guide must be engaged. The valve guide is engaged. It's in the lock position. Oh, it's taken a minute. I think it just needs a moment to kind of just, it's been like 2 years since I last used this, in all honesty. So it's definitely got some burn off going on kind of thing, but no biggie. I'm gonna go and turn it back off. Now that I have made sure that that is working, and now that I've done that, I do think I'm gonna go ahead and, let's see, probably take this right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just set it down. Take my water I have with me, and I'm just gonna pour it in this glass right here, and I'm gonna pour that into here. Actually, you know what, I'm just gonna just free pour it, because honestly, like, I might want more than one hot toddy. You never know. So I might as well just free pour it. I'll put a little bit more in. That should do. That should do. And now that I've done that, well, let's go ahead and get the water going. There we go. Just like that. I'm just going to put it on max so it just starts boiling and whatnot. And I'm going to go ahead and start making the rest of my hot toddy. So the exact measurements I want to use are, I want to do 1 tablespoon of honey, I think like 1/2 to 1 full tablespoon of lemon juice, and I want to do 2 ounces of whiskey. So this measuring cup I got right here is like an alcohol measuring cup and stuff. I got this in Japan, and I don't know what side means what. I think it's 18 milliliters on one side and 8 on the other. I don't know what all that means, but I think I'm just going to do, I'm going to start off with just 1 big side of whiskey, and we're going to see how that looks in my glass, and if I feel like I need more than that, I can always do more than that. I don't know if I'm going to need more than that, though, but I think I'm going to start off with that, and we're going to go from there. So let's go and give that a shot. Pour that, if I can, just like that, and pour that in. And honestly, I'm thinking just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Not much, just a little bit, just like that kind of thing. And then I am thinking, and my water is starting to steam. It's definitely getting a bit warm. That's very good, that's very good. And then now, I'm thinking I should probably, if I had to hazard a guess, do my lemon juice next. Probably gonna need my knife. I don't want to try to use my fingernails. What? I don't have my knife on me! Okay, I don't have my knife on me. I do have my flashlight though, and this will work instead. Worked just fine. Somehow I forgot, I changed my pants before this video because I was like, let me put on my thermal pants, because I wasn't wearing thermal pants before this video started. I think I forgot my knife in my other pants. But yeah, let's go ahead and put some lemon juice in here as well. I think I'm just gonna do just like a little bit over half of the small side of lemon juice. Just like that. And then I'm gonna do 1 full small side of honey, I think. And this is definitely starting to get warm, but it's not quite boiling yet. I seem to be making good time though. And try to squeeze that out. Oh, it's not wanting to, this honey is not wanting to move. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Oh my God, I'm squeezing so hard. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna leave it at that for the honey, and I'm gonna hope that it all comes out. It is not really big on coming out, which is what it is. But the water is not quite boiling yet. It's getting there though, it's getting there. I'm just having to let the honey drip in very slowly. I should have just straight poured it in, honestly. Now that I know the roundabout measurement I probably want, and I might just dip this in there and just try to get it all off, honestly. Just like that, just stir it up with that. That did not work at all. I think that just made everything worse. This is, as you guys can tell, I've never made a hot toddy before. So, yeah, this is not exactly going exactly to plan, but that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. What is going to plan is the water is heating right up. We are all good in that regard. Yeah, this honey, oh my God, it is not wanting to come out at all. I have no utensils out here. I didn't think I was going to need any. I thought the honey was not going to be quite so solidified, but it is like 28 out here. So, yeah. I might just call it for the honey, and I might just put a little bit more in, and then I've just got to wash this later. I might just do that. I might just put a little bit more honey in. Don't know if I'm going to be using that. Don't know if I'm going to be using that measuring cup anymore during this video. I'll have to wash it up, but I'm just going to free pour just a little bit of honey in there, just like that. I think that should do. That should do. If I need more, I can always add more, but we'll go with that. And the water is definitely starting to boil now. I think that probably is warm enough. Let's hope I don't shatter my glass when I pour the hot water in. That wouldn't be very good. But I'm gonna go ahead and move this over just a little bit. And I, real quick, am gonna turn it off. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move everything away real quick, just in case my glass decides to shatter. It's possible. I am gonna go ahead and pour it in. Just like that. Alrighty. And there we go, y'all. There we go. Okay, this is feeling pretty warm. But it's not coming across as super warm on my fingers. That is warm. That is very warm. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. That is very warm. So I'm gonna let it sit for a minute. I am gonna let that sit for a minute, and I almost forgot. It's a good thing it is almost too warm, because I haven't added my garnish yet. I need to add my garnish, so let's do that real quick. Just trying to figure out how to open this. I'm just gonna open the lid like this. Let's get my cinnamon stick in there, and if I can get one out, there we go. Here's my cinnamon stick, and I'm just gonna go ahead and toss it in. Boom, just like that. No complaints on my behalf. And now my first ever hot toddy is officially done, baby. It's officially done. I brought out a whole stove just to make a hot toddy today. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I gotta admit though, this hot stove was a great idea. This stove was a great idea because honestly, if I didn't have the stove, I would be feeling pretty cold right now, but I'm feeling just fine. Well, that's definitely a little bit warm in my hand. I might grab my glove and just put it on for one of my hands because that glass is a bit warm and I don't feel like burning my hand or just making my hand uncomfortably warm today. If I can get my glove on. I'm trying to get my glove on. Don't worry about it. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I think it might be about right now. Still a little bit warm, but ooh, that's pretty solid. I do think I added too much lemon juice. It's a little bit too lemony, in my opinion, kind of thing. And I think I could have definitely added maybe a little bit more bourbon. But I mean, like, hey, this is all trial and error kind of thing. Your perfect hot toddy recipe is going to be your perfect hot toddy recipe, and it's going to be different for everybody, of course. And I just followed a rough recipe I found online. That might not be my perfect hot toddy recipe, but what I can say is that this is still pretty dang good. Even if I'm already seeing areas that I could improve it, it's still pretty dang good. Just based off that first sip. Let's take another sip. Oh yeah. Yeah. Sweet, honey, a little bit of lemon, definitely coming through without a doubt kind of thing, because I added a decent amount of lemon juice. And I'm getting a little bit of that sort of, I would have to say like the Evan Williams bottle to bottom, in my opinion. kind of has that of like a sort of like marshmallowy, kind of like caramel flavor. And I'm definitely getting that coming through very distinctly as well, kind of thing. Yeah. This is a really nice drink to have outside on a cold day. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. This is a really nice drink to have outside on a cold day. Yeah, no, very solid. Very, very, very solid. No, this is really nice. This is really, really, really nice. I got no complaints on my behalf. I got none at all on my behalf. I gotta make sure I grab myself a thumbnail real quick. How do I want to grab this thumbnail? My camera is kind of far away. Well, hopefully one of those will do. We will find out. Oh my God, my arm is dying. That was heavy. And it's just sliding. Like, literally the entire table I'm sitting at is just covered in ice. The chair I'm sitting in, covered in ice. I'm sitting on a towel right now because I was like, my body heat is just gonna soak through the ice. My pants are just gonna be soaking wet for like most of the video if I don't sit on a towel. So I'm sitting on a towel. But honestly, it's really not so bad out here. There's no wind at all. And honestly, the main bad part of the cold for me, like I can deal with just cold weather, but once it gets windy, that's when I start dying kind of thing. But it's like 28 out here and it really doesn't feel bad at all. It really doesn't feel bad at all, honestly. I'm like, my hand's a little bit chilly, but my water's warm enough where it's not freezing. My bourbon's warm enough where it's not freezing. Same with the lemon juice and the honey, although if I left it out here for any significant period of time, I do think it would quite possibly freeze over. But since I haven't been out here for more than 20 minutes, then I'm all good. I'm all good. I do think I'm gonna want another though, because this is solid. This is really good. And I can see why people use a hot toddy as a cold remedy. It's one of those drinks that you just drink it, it's so smooth, and it kind of just takes everything in your throat with you. And I think that's probably the honey and the lemon juice kind of thing really doing its trick, but you add a little bit of alcohol in it as well, and it works even better. But I mean, like, honestly, if you wanted to do like a virgin hot toddy, like when you've got a cold and stuff like that kind of thing, like just a hot toddy but no alcohol, just like hot water, honey, lemon juice, and like a cinnamon stick kind of thing, I still think it's going to help a lot more so than not when you have a cold. I'm not going to advocate for alcohol being a cold cure by any means. That's not something I'm going to say. But there are certainly people that will absolutely say that out there. And you know, I understand why now. Definitely, this would be a really good drink to have with a sore throat when you have a cold. And it's just a really solid drink to have on a cold day in general, frankly put. Yeah, no, overall, flavor-wise, I'm getting that of I would have to say most prominently sort of like honey, lemon flavor. A little bit of citrusy, lemony, fruity, with that honey sort of underglow, I would say. And then under all of that, there's the bourbon. The bourbon is super, like, I think I definitely could have added a little bit more bourbon. I think I might for the next one. But the bourbon, really, it's very much the undertone, I would say. It's very much at the bottom. I'm getting that a little bit of that marshmallow caramel kind of business going on. And now, overall, the flavor is really nice, super smooth, great to have on a cold day like today, super easy to make as well. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients, 3 if you, well, actually 5 ingredients, but 4 if you don't include the garnish. But one of the ingredients is literally just water. So, no, this is really solid. This is really solid, frankly put, and this is absolutely something that I would not mind having again. Let me just put it that way. I do think I will be having another one, low-key. Definitely towards the bottom of my drink, though. Definitely towards the bottom. It gets a little bit more alcohol-y. But really, the honey, the lemon really does smooth it out just so much. I don't know if I want to go ahead and get this going quite yet. I'm probably going to wait until I'm mixing everything up to get another one, to get the water going again. I think I've got enough water in there for another one. I might pour a little bit more in just in case kind of thing. But I think I've got enough water in there for another one. But since I don't know, I'm just going to be careful and just pour a little bit more in. But, no, super easy to make. Really, honestly, a very refreshing drink. Like, I would say, for me, like, the best way of kind of describing and comparing it against any other mixed drink I've had is that this is like the winter version of a whiskey highball. That's kind of just how it is. Like, this is like the winter version of a whiskey highball, in my personal opinion. Like, I really like whiskey highballs. It's like a 2-ingredient beverage. It's just carbonated water and like whiskey. You can add some lemon if you want, or you can use just lemon-flavored carbonated water. That's what I personally do. But it's a really great summer drink, really refreshing and everything like that kind of thing. Really good on warm days, and I really enjoy drinking it inside. But if I was outside, like, let's say just doing an activity or skiing or something like that kind of thing, I'd either want like a whiskey and hot chocolate or some other sort of hot chocolate mixed drink, or I would want one of these, frankly put. No, really easy to drink, really solid as a whole, and oh man, it's completely melted the ice on the table I'm sitting at. Oh, that's too funny. That's just how warm this glass is, but it's definitely a very cinnamony at the very bottom. No surprise there. I did add a cinnamon stick after all. I couldn't really tell the cinnamon was in there at the very top, but at the very bottom it being very pronounced and was really nice. But what was I about to say? Yeah, the Hot Toddy, it's so easy to make. And due to the similarity of ingredients and due to just the ease of how easy it is to make it, I would say that this is kind of like the winter version of a whiskey highball in all honesty. Nah, very solid, very solid. I'm going to have another one. I'm going to have another one. And before I go ahead and, well, get my other one officially going, I am first off going to go ahead and prepare all of my ingredients. And I think first off, I am going to go and pour in a little bit more whiskey. I do think. So I'm just going to pour that in right over the garnish I have. I'm going to reuse the garnish. I'm sure that might be frowned upon to some. Don't care. I'm reusing the garnish. Cinnamon sticks are expensive. I'm reusing the garnish. Let's go and put a little bit of lemon juice in there. Just like that. And let's do a little bit of honey. I'm just kind of guesstimating this time. Let's do that much honey. The sweetness of it makes it so smooth though, and the honey really Okay, so my phone did fill up on storage. I didn't realize my phone was almost full up on storage. I went ahead and deleted some stuff, and we are back. In the meantime, I did turn off my stove just because I didn't want it running while I wasn't paying attention to it. And I didn't do anything else other than just put some honey in the glass, which y'all already saw, if I remember correctly. Let's see if I can go ahead and get everything showing like it was previously. Put the camera back in the same place, bring that down just a little bit and whatnot kind of thing. Think I've got all that set up properly. I do hope at least. Just gonna let this water warm up, gonna let it boil real quick. And while we're waiting, you know, I might go ahead and have a little bit of something. But you don't think I missed? I've noticed pretty quickly that my phone storage was filled up. I think it was like probably 15 seconds. And I don't really remember if I said anything in those 15 seconds that I remember wanting to mention now. So yeah, I think we're all good. I should definitely get in the habit of checking my phone storage before before I record videos though, in all honesty. But I have one of these with me today. It's a Level Red, and it's from Sweden. And you know, it's so cold out here right now that I figure a Swedish product is probably going to be the optimal choice, hence why it is my choice. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this out. And, well, let's get to having one of these while I'm making a little bit of a hot toddy, I do suppose. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Not gonna lie, though, y'all, that first drink definitely got me. That first drink definitely got me a little bit of a buzz. No question in my mind. No question in my mind at all. I am feeling pretty good right now. Not like crazy buzzed by any means, but buzzed enough by all means, I will acknowledge. But I could go for a little bit more of a buzz. Hence why I'm having this, and hence why I'm about to have a second drink. Gotta admit, this stove, though, it's working amazingly. It's doing a great job. That's doing fantastic. It's doing great. Would this be as memorable of an experience if I was just microwaving my hot water? No, I don't think it would be as memorable of an experience if I was just microwaving my hot water. I think this is going to be a significantly more memorable experience because I have actually brought out a cooking stove with me today. Just for my alcohol. Just for my alcohol. No complaints, no complaints. It is getting a little bit dark though. Sunset's at like 5:35. What time is it right now? It is 5:39, so we are like 4 minutes past sunset. No biggie. I got the lights on, you know what I'm saying? And since we got some ice and snow on the ground and whatnot, as we can see like over here, it's reflecting pretty well and making for some pretty decent lighting, even though it is getting a bit darker out here, so no biggie, no biggie. Yeah, no, it honestly is pretty nice out here. I honestly kind of feel like it's getting warmer. Like, I think it was like 28 when I first started the video, but I kind of feel like it's like 32 now, honestly. I don't know if it's just the Hot Toddy talking or if it actually is getting warmer, but apparently the high today is really weird. So like the high during the day today was 28, but at 9 o'clock tonight, it's going to be 36 degrees. So it is actually getting warmer, I do think. But it's probably also the Hot Toddy talking if I had to hazard a guess. But yeah, no. Hot Toddy, solid. This little product right here, very solid. Just letting my water warm up. It's getting there. It's getting there. I've got it on full blast. Or as full blast as it's going to go. It seems kind of low, even though I haven't used up really much at all of my butane cylinder. Maybe it's just the cold making it where it's being a little bit slower. I'm not sure. It is still going. There is still a flame there, but it's not particularly potent, I'll acknowledge. Yeah, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. That is, the butane cylinder itself has gotten very cold, so maybe that's what's going on. I'm not sure. I've got it up all the way. So, worst case scenario, I could just use warm water if it doesn't actually want to boil, but we're getting there, we're getting there. It's probably just the fact that it's cold. I do want some more alcohol, though. I might just pour it in and just go for it. I might just do that low-key. It's tempting. I'll finish this off first. Yeah, for some reason I feel like the flame is getting weaker. I don't know why. Got everything attached correctly. It has been like 2 years since I last used this. But, I don't know. I don't know. Alright, well that is all done now. And I think I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to pour it in. So we're going to do exactly that. Turn it off. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's kind of popping and stuff, but I think the water's warm enough. So let's go ahead, pour it in. Just like that. No mixing needed. And we're gonna see how warm this is. I think it might be good enough to drink right now. I'm not sure. Okay, a little bit too warm to drink, but it's standable. Definitely not boiling water as it was at the beginning of the video with the first drink, though. Definitely a little bit cooler. Didn't quite get up to boiling. I don't know what's going on with my stove right now, but I gotta look at that. I gotta look into that because I do like my stove to be able to work properly. It was only like a $20 stove, though. I've gotten my money back over my uses, but it's a Coleman stove, so I don't know. Whatever problem I'm having, if there is an issue, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. It's pretty simple. It's just a butane stove. Everything's set up properly, so I don't know what the deal is, but well, let's get back to drinking. And once again, very solid. Once again, very solid. So, oh man, I'm just noticing what happened. So, the water underneath the cup unfroze, and then while it was cold, because there was no, hot water in there, it refroze under the cup. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. I'm gonna go ahead and pour out my water as well, though. Just like that. No complaints. Just melted some snow in the ground down there. Yeah, I gotta admit, Hot Toddies. Is it something I'd have again? Absolutely, I'd totally have a Hot Toddy again. Yeah, no, absolutely, I would totally have a Hot Toddy again. Very, very, very solid in my personal opinion. Definitely something that I'm enjoying drinking today. And definitely something that I would, without a doubt, have again in the future. I'm personally really enjoying my second drink I'm having. I really enjoyed the first drink. And I would have to say, this is definitely something, it's so easy to make. You literally really just do need lemon juice, honey, whiskey, and water, just hot water. It's so easy to make. You just throw it in the cup. I'm like, honestly, I think in the future when I'm making them, I'm not even really gonna measure kind of thing. I'm just gonna throw it in the cup and do that kind of thing. That's just kind of what I normally do with my mixed drinks anyway. I just kind of eyeball it. And I think that definitely works for a Hot Toddy. It's not a complex enough drink where you really do need to be exact with your measurements and whatnot. I was trying to be somewhat exact with the first drink, but it didn't end up working out due to the honey. And with the second drink, I just eyeballed it. And honestly, it's just fine. It's perfectly fine. I think with the second drink, definitely like the amount of lemon juice I added is perfect. The amount of honey, I think I could have added a little bit more honey. The amount of bourbon I added, I would have to say is just about perfect. And overall, a very, very, very solid drink that I am thoroughly enjoying. So, what can I say? No complaints on my behalf, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and just do that. I'm just gonna go and put this away. Probably a good idea to have it unplugged if I'm not using the stove anymore. I do suppose that probably is a good idea. Doesn't this have like some sort of thing on it? No, that's just wrap. This is so cold though. Oh my God, I'm gonna put that down. That is really cold. Wrap my hands around my warm cup of water, my warm hot toddy right now. My hands are feeling much better now. Not very solid. I definitely think some additions that I think would be really good as garnishes, clove. I think clove would be really good in the hot toddy I have with me today. I think some clove would be really good with the cinnamon. Nutmeg, I'm pretty on nutmeg. Like I have heard what happens if you like eat just straight nutmeg. Like you start hallucinating and you start seeing spiders all over the walls. I don't know. I just stay away from nutmeg. Like I know it is a garnish for some things, but I don't know. I just stay away from nutmeg in all honesty. It just doesn't sound like a good idea to consume. I don't know. I don't really know how nutmeg is actually used in cooking and stuff like that kind of thing. But I've heard if you take a lot of it, you start hallucinating, and not positive hallucinations either. I have heard, based off of some stuff I've read online, that the hallucinations are considered to be your worst nightmare. That is not something I ever want to go through, so I just stay away from I just stay away from nutmeg, in all honesty. But I'm gonna have another one of these. I'm gonna have another one of these while I'm drinking the rest of my drink, I do think. I gotta admit, the level reds, I don't think they're like the optimal. I don't think they're like the optimal for a hot toddy, I'll acknowledge. I think something a little bit more Virginia or Virginia Perique oriented would be a little bit better. So like a Virginia Perique pipe tobacco or something like that kind of thing, I think would pair really well with a hot toddy, like a Connecticut cigar, maybe. Or just like a more Virginia one of these kind of thing. I think would definitely be the more optimal choice to have with a hot toddy. Something like, let's say, a Chunghwa, I think would be solid. I'll admit, or maybe an American Spirit Black. Honestly, I think that would be the ultimate with a hot toddy, frankly put. Definitely, though, I gotta admit, be careful with how much cinnamon you use. As I get towards the bottom once again, the cinnamon is getting very intense. And same with the alcohol as well. I definitely have to say, one other thing I want to keep in mind for the future when I make more hot toddies is just that I probably want to bring a stirrer or some sort of fork or something like that. I forgot to bring one out with me today. If I had brought one out, I would have used one. I just forgot to bring one out. But I definitely think that would be good as well. Just mix it up a little bit kind of thing. Definitely as you get towards the bottom, the lemon gets a little bit more intense. The honey gets a little bit more intense. The whiskey gets a little bit more intense. So definitely some things to keep in mind for the future, for my future hot toddy experiences, I'll acknowledge. But yeah, overall, I gotta admit, hot toddy is a very solid, simple drink to make. It's a great drink to have on a cold day like today. And I personally am of the opinion that a hot toddy, while I don't think it would cure your cold, I do not think it would do that. I'm not going to say an alcoholic beverage is going to do that by any means, but I do think it would be pretty nice when I, or when I have a cold in the future kind of thing. I do think I would not mind having a hot toddy if I had a sore throat or a cold in the future or something like that kind of thing, especially if it was a cold day. You know, I'd have no complaints on my behalf, frankly put. And I'm just going to take my garnish out, put that in there. I think that's enough cinnamon for my drink. But not really solid. Very glad to have tried a hot toddy today, and I'm definitely going to have to try some variations in the future. I've heard like a hot toddy made with Old Monk rum is really good. I've heard that's really good. So I'm going to have to pick up some Old Monk rum in the future. I'm going to have to try a hot toddy with Old Monk, I do think. And I've heard some other hot toddy recipes that, while they're not coming to my head at the moment, I've heard good things about those. So maybe I'll have to try more hot toddy recipes in the future. But just wanted to try the classic hot toddy for my first ever experience with one. And I gotta admit, very solid. Very, very, very solid. Definitely a very solid drink to have on a cold day like today. No complaints on my behalf, y'all. No complaints. And definitely getting me a buzz as well. Definitely, like 2 of these hot toddies, I'm all good kind of thing. Like, I'm going to be all good after I finish off this drink. Whew. Very solid, though. Very solid. Definitely, like, if I was out and about, like, walking around, like, if I was out, like, I don't go skiing or snowboarding or anything like that kind of thing. I've never gone skiing. Maybe it's something I need to do eventually, but I've never gone skiing before. I've never gone snowboarding before or anything like that kind of thing. But if I was like out and about walking around in the snow in like cold weather and I want like an alcoholic beverage or something like that kind of thing, but I don't want something like sweet like a hot chocolate, like a hot toddy is going to be like my choice kind of thing. Like that's going to be my go-to. Like, I really enjoy my, like, whiskey and hot chocolates. They're really nice, but it's like one of those and I'm done. Like, I can't have more than one whiskey and hot chocolate. Just because it's so sweet kind of thing. But a hot toddy, you can add just as much or just as little honey as you want kind of thing and get it to the perfect sweetness level for you. And for me personally, I think I'd probably add, like, the amount of honey I added I think was about right for what I had today. But if I wanted to have, like, more than one, I definitely do think I might add a little bit less to the first one and a little bit more to the second one kind of thing. Or if I wanted like 3 of them, I'd do a little bit less for the first 2 and a little bit more for the third one kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, like, honestly, even without the honey, I think it would still be solid, frankly put. And so it's one of those things where I'm looking at it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is going to be solid. Like, just in general, if you don't want like a super sweet, hot, alcoholic mixed drink on a cold day, I think a hot toddy is going to be the one, frankly put. Ooh, very solid. There is a little bit of honey buildup at the bottom of my glass. I don't think I'm going to try to drink that, but I did drink all the liquid that was on top. I don't know if the honey I used was really ideal for this beverage, but hey, it worked. It worked. It certainly sweetened it up just a little bit, and overall, gotta admit, fantastic beverage. Fantastic beverage. Absolutely fantastic. Would I drink a hot toddy again? I absolutely would. Will I be enjoying my future hot toddies? I absolutely will be. And did I enjoy my hot toddies today? I absolutely did. Really easy to drink, quite tasty, pairs quite well with stuff with the stuff I like, and just really solid just really solid on a cold day in general. Frankly put, no complaints on my behalf. I think it's starting to I think we're starting to get a little bit of a freezing rain going. Just a little bit of a sprinkle. No biggie, you know what I'm saying? No biggie. I'm just about done with the video anyway. So what is the overall rating I would give a hot toddy as a mixed drink? I'd give it like a solid, like, for the ones I had today, I would say they're a solid like 8 to 9 out of 10. But I think like my perfect ideal hot toddy, maybe add in a little bit of clove, maybe a little bit less honey, or maybe a little bit more honey. I'll have to do some experimentation. But I think like my perfect hot toddy could very well be a 10 out of 10 kind of thing. I think my perfect hot toddy could very well be a perfect 10 out of 10. But the one I had today, I would say is like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10 kind of thing. But very solid mixed drink, one that I thoroughly enjoyed, and one that I'm very glad I tried for the first time today. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I drank a hot toddy for the first time. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, of course, make sure to, like and subscribe. Check out everything in the description down below. Until the next one, y'all, stay safe in peace and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?